Thank you for watching. We had a question from one of our viewers. Should I take Social Security benefits at age 62 and retire? So we're going to take a look at this question. We're going to look at some of the pluses and minuses to retiring early or at age 62 and taking Social Security. We're going to look at some of the expenses involved and explore this idea of retiring on Social Security at age 62. Now, it's an exciting time to think about retiring. There's many things that people have going through their minds. They may be thinking about traveling abroad or traveling within the country they live. May be thinking about relaxation, more or less stress from less work. They may be thinking about moving to another area, new lifestyle. So there's lots of exciting things to think about when it comes to retiring. There's a lot of benefits too. Most likely you're going to be a lot more healthy, meet new people. You're going to maybe be able to start a business, have more leisure time. So there's a lot of benefits and excitement to retiring. And we're going to explore some of those benefits and see if it makes sense for you. This is a hot question about retirement for 55 to 62-year-olds these days. There's 40 million baby boomers that will retire in the next 10 years. 10,000 baby boomers retire every day. Potential retirees are very concerned about retiring, however. The cost of living has increased and many feel like they have not saved enough. There are many that are ready to wrap up work life and enter a slower pace of life. So the first requirement to retire with Social Security benefits is to be age 62. 33% of the people take Social Security at 62, 18% take it at age 66 or 67, which is a full retirement age, depending on when you were born. So we're going to break this down into a couple of categories. One is involuntary retirement. And this situation would be physically a person cannot work due to health issues. They just have to go ahead and retire. They're 62, so they go ahead and start taking their retirement. The other option would be maybe they've lost their job and there's no job possibilities. And so they're just going to go ahead and take retirement. So that would be involuntary. Now, voluntary retirement, it comes down to a personal decision. A personal decision to take Social Security. You may have a nest egg built up, have plenty of money to live on and pursue what you want to do. Maybe you want to volunteer, have hobbies, recreation, or start a business. There could be health reasons. You want to reduce the stress of working. You're ready to give up the daily grind of working. You want to go from maybe full-time employment to part-time employment. So these are reasons, personal decisions that you would make to go to retirement. YOLO, you only live once. So this would be a chance to just retire early and start a new life. You'll be able to enjoy your income while you're younger. So these are some questions that you may want to ask yourself. There's a personal decision not to take Social Security. So let's take a look at a couple examples here. Your benefit will be permanently reduced. Now, this will depend on your full retirement age, what exactly is going to be reduced to. But for example, if you were born in 1957 and you are eligible to receive $1,600 per month in Social Security benefits at your full retirement age, that's what the FRA stands for, and your FRA is 66.6 years of age. If you retire when you're 62 in this situation, you'll receive a 30% lower benefit of $1,160. Again, this is a scenario here that we've drawn up. Your situation is going to be different. The average retirement benefit from Social Security is $1,400 these days. And that's a combination of people that retire at 62 or at their full retirement age. Another decision, health insurance costs will be expensive. You may decide not to retire early because health insurance will be expensive. You're not going to be able to be eligible for Medicare until age 65. So if you retire at 62, you have 3 years to pay for your own health insurance. So you're going to have to analyze that and see if that makes sense for you. Cost of living increases, COLA, will be less because you're making less on Social Security, and survivors benefits will be less. So those are some reasons to think about not retiring. So financial decisions here that you want to consider before taking Social Security. So one of the biggest decisions that you have to make before you retire is, what do your expenses look like? The average retiree estimates annual expenses of approximately $35,000 to $45,000 per year. Now, this is going to depend on your particular situation, where you live, if your house is paid for, your debt, are you in debt, out of debt, healthcare expenses, etc. So this is going to vary. This is just some averages. We're going to go through a couple examples here. Now, stick with me on this. We're going to make it real simple to understand. But I'm going to give you some 2 or 3 scenarios here to review, and then you put into your own situation what's going to be best for you. Here's a situation: $35,000 annual expenses, and you receive a Social Security benefit of $1,200 per month, or $14,400 per year. You will have a deficit of $20,600. So here, your expenses are $35,000, your Social Security is $14,400. You'll have a deficit of $20,600 to make up. Okay, so you may need to work part-time, or hopefully you have some savings or investments. For example, if you have a higher benefit, if your benefit is, say, $18,000 per year, then of course your deficit will be less to make up. So that's one scenario. Let's make another scenario here and review this. Here's a situation: you have no mortgage, no debt, no major health costs, and let's say your monthly spending is only $1,000 per month for food, taxes, and basic costs. This is an annual cost of $12,000. If your benefit is $14,000 per year and your expenses are $12,000, you'll have $2,000 left over to do whatever you want. So there are some benefits in getting your house paid for. That is one of the biggest things a person can do. That's the American dream. Get your house paid for. Get out of debt. Get your cars paid off. Stay healthy. Health costs can be extremely high. So if you can reach these goals here, you're not going to have any problem making that decision to retire early. Now, I'm going to give you another example here. Your annual expenses are $35,000. Social Security is $1,200 per month, or $14,000 per year. And so your deficit is $20,600. Okay. If you have savings built up of $250,000 in investment savings, and you earn at least 6% on your investments, this would give you an income of approximately $15,000 per year. Okay, so here's our breakdown: $35,000 expenses, Social Security $14,400, our deficit is $20,600. And if you have investment income or return of $15,000, now your deficit is only $5,600. So now you've brought it down. So the bottom line here, you will need to get your expenses down to approximately $2,500 per month, or $30,000 per year. In this case, if you brought it down to $30,000 in expenses per year, that's going to cover your deficit. So as we go into this exciting time of thinking about retirement, we've got to think closely on our expenses. Maybe you have to move to a lower cost area part of the country, or you do some heavy thinking and reduce a lot of the extra expenses that you have to get your expense number down. Now, there's 2 or 3 other things you want to consider that we're not going to go through in this particular example here today. So the 3 examples here, considerations: when you are withdrawing money from your investments, is the market going up or down? If the market's going up, your investments are going to last longer. If the market's going down, so you're going to need some management of your money. Okay, also taxes can come into play. And the other consideration is longevity. You may actually live longer than you plan. So that wraps up our video here today on, should you retire at 62 and take your Social Security benefits? We've looked at expenses. We looked at whether it's a voluntary decision or involuntary. You just can't work. You're physically disabled. The goal here is, look at your expenses, estimate what you're going to bring in from Social Security, and hopefully you're building a retirement nest egg. I want to thank you for viewing. Please subscribe to our videos to get other videos like this. We thank you for watching, and have an exciting retirement.